Good
Okay.
afternoon. This is Christy Mouseback, Livermore Valley Chamber of Commerce. So sorry about that. And thank you to Rick Sue for presenting this great presentation to us today. Rick is the owner of Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow Estate Sales and Liquidation. And so with that, I would like to introduce him to you, and we will start the program.
Thank you, Christy. Thank you. Hi, guys. How are you? I am Rick Dew. I am the owner of Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow Estate Sales and Liquidation. Sorry about the long name. I just didn't know what I was doing when we started this thing. So we also go by YTT Estate Sales, which is a lot shorter and easier to remember. YTT. Um, um, and thank you for having me here today. My topic is estate sales. Let me bring up my PowerPoint page really quick so I can. Am I sharing? No, no, I'm
Not
not.
yet.
Okay, okay. Let me share my screen really quick. There
That's it.
we go. Okay. All right. Let me start from the first one here. Okay. Um, this well, it's not about me. It's about estate sales, and this is first. And let's just talk a little about my business. The YTT Estate Sale is a family-oriented, client-focused, and well-established estate liquidation company that is dedicated to helping clients in solving problems with liquidating their personal property in a timely manner through the planning, organizing, and conducting of estate sales. Um, So some of you may not know what a estate sale is, but let me present you like this with um, a problem, a very common problem for everyday folks, and sometimes can be business as well. Um, it is how to take care of their personal property when they move, when they unfortunately needs to divorce, when there's a death in the family, um, or just decluttering. Um, the problem is that they have this accumulated personal property in their home, in their business, and it becomes so huge they can't declutter it. Um, Statistically show that in an average home may contain about 300,000 items. So thinking about it, moving when you're moving in some of the cases, when people need to pack 300,000 items, that's a lot. And we're not just talking about big items like furniture. We're talking about a lot of smaller home decorations, computers, cameras, what have you. Okay, and they have a limited way to decluttering or unload. They can traditionally they only can give away to family and friends. They can donate. They can do their own garage sales, or they can store it in the storage, or they can just simply haul them away and put them into like landfill. And any of that will cost them a lot of money to do it. Um, it's a big job, and it's more than once when we go on consultations. More than once, the thing we have heard is that we are overwhelmed by this. There's so much stuff we don't know what to do with it. And normally and often, um, there's a time constraint that and they have as well in dispersing or disposing any of this personal property. Um, in resolving that kind of problem, it comes to estate liquidation services. That's the industry I'm in. Okay. We do it through estate sales. And what is an estate sale? The way I define it is An estate sale, sometimes is called estate liquidation or estate auction or a tax sale, is an event where personal property is sold to general public due to a variety of reasons, including but not limited to probate or legal dissolution of marriage or downsizing or moving or just decluttering. But to use a very loose term, is it's a glorified garage sale, but it's handled by professionals, um, often called estate liquidators. And um, this service is can be done very in a quick manner. Okay. Normally, a sale can be completed within 2 weeks from start of preparation to finish. Scheduling is a different story, though. So there's going to be two time frames I'm going to be discussing. One is the preparation time frame, and another one is time frame for scheduling. And then this it's cost saving. Okay. Of course, we charge a service fee of for anywhere in the industry is anywhere from 30 to 50%. Okay. It may seem to be a lot, but at the end, if you compare it to the cost you give to a hallway service or putting the storage, this is actually more cost effective way of dispersing or disposing of your personal property. And there's no out-of-pocket cost. Any cost of laboring or any cost of labor or advertising or equipment rental, so on, is covered normally first by the estate liquidator, and then and deducted from the um, proceeds of the sales. So, do we have any questions so far? Nope. Okay. And in order to do this sale, there's normally, for most of us, will follow a simple process. It goes along like the following. Okay. There's going to be initial consultation, meaning that we meet the client and we just to see the contents, and also give a client a chance to see if they feel comfortable working with us or not. And normally, a client will select anywhere from 2 to 3 um, uh, different estate liquidators before they make the final decision. And if they decided to move forward, normally it's going to be an agreement of some kind of contract signed for both parties to move forward. And at that time, they will figure out a sales date. At least that's the way I do it. But there's going to be a sales date, and then there's going to be some time frame, the one I'm talking about earlier, for the preparation. And this time period can be different from anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks, depends on the volume of the sale or the particular estate liquidator to go with. Um, and the preparation will always consist of sorting through everything. Some liquidators will skip the staging, but some people would do staging extensively. Some liquidator would do pricing very, very carefully. Some people will do it very less. It really depends on the type of contents there is in the house, or and or the experience of the estate liquidator. Blah blah. Um, but the most important thing is advertising. Okay. Um, when I do a sale for myself, I don't see it as, when the sale starts, as when we open the door um, on the weekends. I see it, the sale starts on the day when we start advertising, because that's when you really need to capture the interest, when you need to get entice people and get them to come to the sale at the first place. This is very much a numbers game. If there's no turnout, then you will have no sale. The goal is always try to get people to pay you to haul stuff away instead of paying someone else to haul stuff away. So you got to have a lot of people here. Otherwise, you just you will end up paying other people to haul stuff away. After that, after all this preparation, you will conduct the sale. Like I said before, the goal of the actual sale is to sell as much as possible. And then on top of that, you got to sell for as much as possible. We often get into this dilemma. There's a market price for everything. Sometimes you get that market price, but most often you won't get that market price. And because often that market price is subject to the area of entire state or the entire country. Say if somebody sells a used iPhone on eBay. No, let me use a different example. Stereo system. Yeah, stereo system is a very good example. If somebody's selling a Macintosh S200 as one of this pristine high-end amplifier of Macintosh from the old days, so still use those tubes. If you sell it locally, it normally can probably generate maybe around $1,000. But if you sell it in Southern California, it can generate maybe somewhere around 2,500 or even more. So the goal is to always, when we open the door, if someone comes in here, and makes an offer on that particular item, I would most likely I would just take it. The first offer, the first good offer. It depends on that particular day and when the area you're in. The first good offer would be the last good offer. And people, because people know, people just know that your back is against the wall. And if you don't sell it, things are going to be just thrown out. So that's the two goals of the conducting sale: to sell as much as possible and to sell for as much as possible. And after the sale, within 2 weeks, normally, for me, it's 2 weeks, but different estate liquidators will have a different of period in sending the payout to the clients. But that would be part of the process as well. And then there is unfortunately a hallway. Not everything can be sold, and more often there are things that's left unsold. To take care of that problem for the client, we as different liquidators have different ways. Sometimes different some liquidator may just include that in their service with a little bit of extra fee. But sometimes a liquidator would say, "Oh, we can facilitate and get a hallway service to come and work for you." So we are not part of that service. But either way, that's something can be taken care of through this whole process. Any questions so far?
Yeah,
not
Rick, I
much.
have a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
So I know that, people collect things, they have items that they may consider more valuable than what the going market rate is. How do you deal with somebody who has a collection of some sort and really thinks that it is more valuable than it actually is? How do you deal with them on that?
But good question. Um, in case like that, depends on what it is. Sometimes we would pre-sell it when we know there's a collector, when we know there's a reseller out there who specifically deal with that type of that particular type of item. When we need to, when we can get more for it, then we would pre-sell that instead of putting it into the estate sale and try to sell it to the general public. Because not everybody collect that kind of stuff, and not about but understand that it's true value. Only specific people know. Or we will work with a place like an auction house to try to sell it. The auction house would actually have the access to um, areas that's beyond local market, and they can advertise towards the East Coast or even some other parts of the world. So when you advertise like that, you can get more interest in, and you can sell for more. But it really depends on the item. Okay. So why hire an estate liquidator? When you say that the estate sale is just a glorified garage sale, first is the knowledge. We are on the market every day. We understand how everything can be sold. We understand the value of it, and we have access to certain market like doll people or electronic people, book people, all dealers. There's between, I would say most, probably, I won't say most, I would say probably half and a half, about 50 to 60% of my regular buyers, they're dealers, big or small. Okay, they're resellers. So I can access that particular market and to sell it faster and sell it for more. If you try to sell it to common folks, people who are shopping around in the garage sale, um, things can be sold for very, very less. Using that amplifier, for example, you can probably just, they wouldn't pay a lot for it because they don't understand the value of it to begin with. So they're not willing to pay. But if they are the only ones who show up at the door and you have to sell it by that weekend, you may end up selling that amplifier for only $200. Yeah, there's a huge gap. So knowledge and access to market is um, two primary reasons why you need an estate liquidator to take care of your contents, even if you know. Sometimes it's when you undervalue what you have, and a lot of other times is when you overvalue your contents. When you think, I have this Homo collection that it used to be worth like tens of thousands of dollars, but on the market right now, is really down. There's not a whole lot of value out there. So if you price everything for like, $50, $100 a piece, you try to sell it, you're not going to get any buyers. So you spend the time and the money and the effort into it. You have a sale on your own. You may end up not selling anything. You end up wasting your time and miss your deadlines. You you're back to square one. You're not solving problems. So that's why you got to hire a professional to do it. And believe it or not, it's more cost effective than you handling it on your own. And it's worry-free. Okay, here comes to the second timeline. Okay, when it's more than just timeline. I was talking to Christy before the meeting why I want to have this this education program trying to publish. I'm trying to bring awareness out there. When people when they're frustrated, when they can't handle this anymore, when they call us, often they have done so much in dispersing and disposing everything. By the time when they get to us, there's not enough left in the house to sell. Having a good volume is very important. A true estate liquidator will not only sell the collectibles, the Yagros, the antiques, Victorian credenzas, the mid-century modern furniture and mid-century modern dishes. A true liquidator will sell everything. A true liquidator will sell anything from toilet paper and up to to cars and boats and everything in between. Whatever the problem we have in disposing, we need to come in here and try to sell it. That's our job. Okay, so people should not try to donate their clothing or shoes or home decorations, dishes to like places like a Goodwill or Savers. As soon as people find out they have a problem of cluttering, or when there's trying to move, trying to sell a house, and they have a whole house worth of stuff they cannot take care of, they should call us immediately instead of trying to disperse things first. We often, when we before we go on a consultation, when we hear talking to people on the phone, the first thing we tell them is that don't throw away anything and don't donate anything. It may end up hurting you. The good reason, excuse me for a second. There's a reason why we need a volume. It's not because we want to sell more stuff. It's because sales compete with each other. The sales often happen just during the weekends. It only happens during the weekends, Friday and Saturday, or Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And there can be anywhere between 30 to 40 different sales in the Bay Area in a single weekend. And when people do their homework, they're trying to select a sale to decide to go to. They tend to go to the sales with more contents. So having a good volume is important. Remember the numbers game we talked about before? You got to get people in here. So having a good volume is only one of the things. And there are other things like the type of contents, and the location. So if you're at a location that's sort of on the side, Livermore is one of those locations people tend to miss. But you combine location, type of contents, and the volume altogether, you got to have at least two of them in order to have a good sale. Okay, so contact us as soon as you can. And there's another reason why you want to do that is because the scheduling. There's not a whole lot of margin in this line of business, so we tend to want to fill our weekends week after week after week. So if you plan you're planning to sell the house and you only have like 1 month to prepare, things can be tight. So contact us as early as possible so we can help you to, or the client, to better plan this whole project. Yeah, estate liquidation is only part of the overall project if you're selling the house. Okay. Okay, so this is a little summary on what we talked about. Oh, we didn't talk about the where does the estate sale take place? Estate sale takes place mostly on site. When we say on site, it means that it's in clients' homes or business homes if you're liquidating. But thanks to the pandemic, after pandemic or during the pandemic, we went online. And before that, only maybe one business or two business would do say a online auction once in the blue moon. But after pandemic, everybody went online. So it became an option. So if the situation fits, we can do online estate sales as well. Okay, and we already talked about how is estate sale organized and conducted. That's our process, and why hire us, and most importantly, when to contact estate sale liquidators. And this is my contact information. You're more than welcome to give me a call or send me an email to if you have any other questions after the meeting. And if you need help of finding an estate liquidator, I can, yeah, depend on schedule. Remember the time frame we're talking about? Yeah, it depends on schedule. I may not be able to take it, but I can always recommend somebody who I trust, I know, a reputable estate liquidator to work with. Okay, so that concludes our presentation. Is there any other questions?
I have a question. I actually have two questions.
Okay, thank you.
So, two things. Do you do business liquidation? And the second question is, you said most estate sales are online now, correct? Did I understand that correctly?
I would say we can be online now, so it became a different way of selling
Right,
or conducting the estate sales.
okay,
But it really depends on the situation.
okay.
Yeah.
So, where do people know where to go, whether it's online or in person? Where is there a specific website, or do you cover something like that on your website that directs people where to go on a particular weekend?
To answer the first question, yes, we do help business in liquidating their assets. Yes.
Okay.
It's just different way of selling. Excuse me. And the second part of the question, well, online sales, where do people look for it? Looking for sales, well, in every liquidators, they will have their own website. If a liquidator does not have a website, you might want to reconsider. See, you want to work with that person or not. If that person is just not very committed, or just doing this part-time, the experience and the followers would really, yeah.
Oh,
But that's not 100% though. You really have to just meet that particular estate liquidator, to decide whether you want to work with that person or not. But the website, most of us will publish our own sales on our own website. But your question was more of like, say, where people find the sales, right?
right, yeah.
Yeah, finding our own sales, yeah, they can find it on our own website, but in general, they can go to Google to try to find it. And there are a couple, there are actually three of them. That's the place we advertise ourselves on. There is an estatesales.org, and there is an estatesales.net. And there is the statesale.com.
Okay,
Those are the three main or major website where people can find estate sales to go to shop. And they compete with each other. So yeah, and yeah, and when we advertise, we'll say this is an on-site sale and this is an online sale, and this is online auction. And there's a difference between online sale and an online auction. Online sale is still it's kind of like antique shop, online antique shop or consignment store, and everything will be posted, and they will have a price tag next to it. Online auctions more like eBay, where you bid on a particular item and try to, and outbid another person in order to buy it. But most often pickup is the same. Pickup process is the same. You still have to be given an address when you buy something. You be given an address and instructions how to get there, when to get there, and who you talk to about picking that particular item up, and so on.
okay, thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions? No? All
Nope.
right.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Rick. Thank you for this information. It was, very helpful, I'm sure, to several of us. So the chamber does appreciate your partnership, and we're happy to see what you have going. And so glad that you were able to be with us today and present this information. So anybody with additional questions, you can certainly contact Rick at the information on the last slide here. And you can always contact us at the chamber, and we're happy to refer you to Rick as well. So thank you so much for attending, and we look forward to seeing all of you very soon. Take care, and let us know if you have any additional questions beyond that.
Thank you, Christy.
Thank you, Rick.